to live stream the meeting. We are signing up for meeting for YouTube Live. Udemy PMP practice. This is for the test 5. Kamar has done the test and we were reviewing it. Today we are live with the part 2 of the review. So far we reviewed the first 100 questions where he made the mistakes. We went through all those correct answers as well as incorrect answer options. We are live with Kamar again, and Kamar has attempted this test day before yesterday, and we will review the remaining questions that he attempted incorrectly. And I hope this will be a meaningful discussion for everyone over there. The reference is for the PMP exam simulator, my own simulator at Udemy, test 5, and we are live with the review part 2 of test 5. Over to you, Kamar. Kamar, are you sharing your screen? Yeah, correct. So let's proceed, Kamar.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Ehtisham, for this review session. So we are going to start only the incorrect question that I attempted. So out of that, total was around 41, I think. So 25, 26 we attempted in our first session. So remaining 15, 16 questions we are going to attempt in this session. So inshallah, let's start. So question number 100. You are a project manager of a city-based transportation. The project involved building a new metro lines that connect with the city center with the airport. As a part of the planning process, you are working with the stakeholder to elicit and document their requirement for the project. Which of the following is the example of stakeholder requirements for the project?
Yes.
A metro line should comply. Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
A metro line should comply with environmental and safety standard of the city and the country. The metro line should have minimum frequency of 10 minutes during the peak hours and 20 minutes during the off-peak hours. Metro line should be completed within 18 months within an approved budget. Metro line should reduce the traffic congestion and pollution in the city and increase the acceptability. So I marked this 18 month with the approved budget as a requirement side, but the answer was actually wrong. So
yeah, now here the difference was, I think we started this yesterday as well. So the difference was between the customer requirement and user requirement and the project requirement. So when project requirement comes, then what should come to your mind? Project constraints, like how much budget I have, how much time I have, what is my scope of work. But when a user comes in your mind, user is looking to benefit from your project. So what is the end goal that you are delivering? What is the end benefit that you are delivering to the user? You need to think in that terms. Like user want a metro bus or a train every 10 minutes passing by his or her like where they want to go, right? They need the bus every 10 minutes. So
yes,
that gives us the relatedness for the user. So you needed to pick up from these 3 or 4 questions like this test. What is performance, or is it related to customer or project? So these were the 3-4 types of requirements that you needed to understand. Clear?
Yes.
Now the selection that you made was the project requirements, but you should have selected the customer requirement, which is every 10 minutes they want a bus.
Yes, this is an example of stakeholder requirements as specified needs and expectation of the metro user in the term of train frequency during the different hours. Stakeholder requirements are the specific needs and expectation of the stakeholder who are involved and affected by the projects. Describe who will benefit from the use of the project actually. Okay, so why 18 hours is not a correct answer? This is an example and constraint of the project objective. Constraint are the factors that restrict the project, such as the budget time limitation. In this case, the requirement specification of 18-month and budget, the project objectives are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, bounded. Completing the metro line within a given time and budget is a project objective and it's a success criteria. It's very good. Yeah. But to read the other one also, metro should comply with environmental and safety standards. This is an example of regulatory requirements and which is a subcategory of non-functional requirements, especially. Also, metro should reduce the traffic congestion and pollution. This is an example of benefit or value proposition. This is not the requirement, but outcome or result of the project. So we need to be very careful. Okay, the next question is you are hired as a Scrum Master in a large organization that has multiple product teams working on different aspects of the same product. Your organization has decided to move away from predictive and adopting agile practice for discovering and delivering the value in your organization. You feel that agile ways of working, you are not reflecting you feel that agile ways of working are not reflected in the culture of your product organization. What is the best way in this situation? So I selected all above, but the option is there. Change the culture of product organization by involving the stakeholder, defining and refining the agile principle and practices, and making them feel ownership and accountability.
So here you had to use the elimination technique because it's going against the inclusiveness and collaboration and forcing kind of. If you see the option number D, for example, change the culture of your product organization by hiring new people. So change is not change is induced from within. It's the transformation. It's not uh, like fire people and bring new people. So what did you do? You just plugged and play, right? So that's not how you drive the change. You need to motivate people to adopt new ways of doing. So changing the culture is not achieved or cannot be achieved by just replacing the people, right? Um, even if you see like the what is the God's word, like God does not wipe out the people. God give time to the people to change, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. This
Yeah,
is the best example.
yeah. So that's why
So
you had to use the elimination technique. Now the option number C also I think should not be selected because there is something related to uh, for, like this is like a what you have the forcing kind of like carrot and stick kind of the change mentality. Like okay, you accept it, or I will cut your pay, or I will fire you. So it's like a forcing. So we can't induce forcing to change, right? Like you are rewarding the behavior and discouraging that whoever is contradicting. So you can't force change like this.
exactly. So coming to the answer, so this option shows respecting the diversity and autonomy of your product team and empowering them to adopt agile principle and practices. This shows that you are creating collaborative and learning-oriented culture to foster continuous improvement and innovation. So what are the wrong options? This option is incorrect because this shows that imposing your way of working and forcing the change on your product team and disregarding their existing skills and experiences. It also shows that you are creating a rigid, exclusive culture that discourages diversity and feedback. Other one is also wrong because it's changing the culture of your product organization by rewarding the behavior. that align with the adopt with the practice and discouraging those are contradict. This option is incorrect because this shows that you are manipulating your product team with intrinsic motivators and punishment. This also shows that you are creating a competitive and coercive culture that undermine trust and collaboration. This is absolutely right and understood. The next question is, as a project manager of the new vehicle development project for a leading automobile manufacturer, you are assessing the project ability to deliver electric vehicle on time, within a budget and with required capability while effectively addressing uncertainties and potential issues. Which aspect of the project progress will you primarily focus to gauge your confidence in achieving the outcome?
Yeah. So by definition, you need to point out in the wording of the this statement three things. One is assessing. Second is uncertainty. Okay. Third is impact. Okay. So if you look at the question is saying you are assessing the project's ability to deliver electric vehicle on time. So what is the probability? There is some element of probability. So if you remember the risk definition, risk has two things. Risk has uncertainty, which brings in probability, whether it will occur or not, we don't know, and there is no 100% chance. It may or may not happen. Second is it when it will happen, it will have an impact on our timelines. Again, you are assessing what is the impact on your timeline, and the risk has an impact which will impact either of your project objectives, whether it will hit the time or it will hit the cost. You got the point, right? So that's why
Yes.
question, it is important to identify key phrases in the question which are pointing you to the risk management effectiveness.
100%. The justification of the risk management effectiveness, the project primarily focus on the risk management effectiveness. New vehicle development project, there are various uncertainties and potential issues that can rise, such as technical challenges, supply chain disruption, regulatory changes, unforeseen market demand. A robust risk management process ensure that all these risks are identified, assessed, and mitigated proactively, which increases the project likelihood of the success in delivering the electric vehicle on time within a budget and the required capabilities. So, why stakeholder satisfaction is an essential aspect of the project management? This was my answer. But it may not directly indicate project ability to handle the uncertainties and potential issues, which while keeping the project stakeholder satisfied, it's crucial, but it is not necessarily demonstrate how well the project team is addressing and managing the risk. So this was the conflict management. You are a project manager for the construction project. You have received a claim from the contractor for the additional payment due to change in the scope of work. You have reviewed the claim and found it to be invalid. You have rejected the claim and communicated your decision to the contractor. However, contractor disagreed with the decision and wanted to escalate the issue. And what is most likely alternative dispute resolution process to resolve this one? So I selected negotiation, but there is arbitration. So there is a claim from the vendor for the additional payment due to change in scope. You reviewed and you rejected because it is invalid. And now vendor want to escalate the issue. How we can solve as an alternative?
Yeah. Now, in the case of conflicts which are contractual nature, first you go by contract. Okay. Now you are right, and they are also have something to say. But who will come forward? Like we do not want to go to the court as the first escalation point. So what we can do to mitigate the tension, we can go to the arbitrator, which is a third party, which can try to resolve, right?
Yes. So the correct answer is arbitration. Arbitration is most likely, the justification is there. Arbitration is most likely alternative dispute resolution process that will be used to resolve the claim. In arbitration, an impartial third party arbitrator reviews the evidence presented by the both parties and make a final binding decision on the matter. It provides a more formal structure mediation process while offering the streamlined cost effective
Yeah.
process compared to litigation. Since the contractor disagree with the project manager decision and want to escalate the issue, arbitration serves as a way to reach on a binding resolution. Negotiation. Why this answer is incorrect? Negotiation involved the discussion and compromise between the both party reached to the agreement. Oh, while negotiating your primary step into the dispute resolution, it does not involve the third party decision maker like the situation described in the scenario. Mediation. Mediation is a process where impartial third party facilitate the communication and help to disputing party to reach to the mutually acceptable solution. Unlike arbitration, mediator do not impose binding decision. Given to the contractor want the decision to be imposed, mediation might not be most suitable choice in this scenario. Litigation brings to the dispute into the court of law, where legal proceeding and the trial take place to resolve the matter. So arbitration, so it is a formal, time-consuming process, and it will not be the first choice if the party looking for more expedient solution in case.
So, what do you think should be the natural order in these four? Just, just,
Normally,
just
normally
what
if
you
we
understood
if
from the
see
question.
any contract document, normally it is starting with the compliance of the
Mm,
contract terms and condition.
mm,
If initially the terms and conditions are not going to be settled on,
mm,
so first of all we will speak and observe the
mm.
uh, we will talk with the vendor initially to solve the issue or to understand where is the gap.
Yeah.
So still it is not going to help us. So that understanding, then we will go for example, third step. Okay, you do something, you leave something, we will do something, we will pay you something. So
Yeah.
it's both a win-win situation in type of negotiation.
Yeah. But if you
Okay,
look into the question, just to interrupt you, that the question itself tells you that negotiation is being done. Looks like the first step that was to be taken was negotiation.
yes,
Like
yes,
you,
100%.
yeah.
Yes,
So looks like
100.
contractor reject you rejected the claim and communicated the decision, and contractor disagrees with your decision and
Yes,
wants to
yes,
escalate. So that's why it's not negotiation. It should be next step. Next step could be mediation again.
yes,
Mediation could be another option. But here the issue, they want to escalate the issue. Now the escalation should be a legally, we need the legal binding, right? That's why.
yes, yes, sir, definitely, definitely. Here, the negotiation is broken, so that's why they want to move to the next step. For example, just an
Yeah,
additional,
yeah.
instead of some claim amount, instead of rejection, if he is going to again ask to negotiate, to reduce the price, to change the claim. So still it will be a part of, I believe, the negotiation
Yeah.
side because instead of something accepting 100% from the vendor, maybe, okay, let's do 50-50. You compromise something, we are ready to pay you, let's close the deal. So still it will be, I believe, in negotiation then.
Yes. Another aspect of it is the predictive environment and the nature that that nature of project is pretty predictive, right? It's a construction project, and scope
Yeah.
of work related change is a dispute. The dispute is about that contractor is charging you extra because they believe that what they did actually was the change request.
Yes,
Okay, but
yes,
you are rejecting that. No, no, it was not the change request. So
yes, yes.
that's why it's a rigid contractual discussion happening between the client and the customer, which is unlikely the agile case. It's a very rigid case of predictive environment.
Yes. So the next question is, in a hybrid project, there is a noticeable lack of engagement during the meeting. Team members rarely challenge each other ideas, engaging in healthy debates about the project decision. This
Mhm.
lack of diverse perspective is impacting the quality of the solutions being deployed.
Yeah.
What should
So
the manager do?
yeah. So look, this is what we say in our work environments. Mostly these are hybrid nature. We say that we love conflicts, we love debates, we love difference of opinion, diversity. We want people who can criticize the ideas that will foster the innovation, you know. So if there is lack of criticism, if there is only yes sir mentality, then there will be no feedback, no improvement. Nobody will dare to challenge the ideas, and then how will we improve?
Actually, why I selected this answer? If you look to the question, there is a hybrid project team.
Hmm.
Somebody is sitting in the office, somebody sitting in remote location. Also, why I selected answer this second? Why I did not selected answer first? Answer first is because set strict rules for debates during the meeting. I only avoided because of this statement that we are enforcing something instead of collaborating and encouraging. Only this was my context to select the answer B, because as we have a hybrid environment, a hybrid team, and it will be more better to have a collaborative tool to facilitate the virtual discussion among the remote team members.
I will take you back to the Toastmaster debates. Okay. What we
Okay.
are enforcing here is a structure. So you have your opinion, and then there will be a rebuttal. Then other person, I mean, you will have your opinion, other person will have his own opinion. Then you will come with the rebuttal of their, they will come with the rebuttal of you. So this is what we mean that we need to follow strict rule that everyone get to speak for and against, right, during the meeting, and encourage each team member to challenge each other. Having set strict rules for debate, like we will give you 2 minutes to speak in the for, the other person will speak in the for, then a person will be rebuttal the first speaker, then the person will rebuttal the second speaker,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
then there will
Yes.
be summary from both sides. That means set rules for debates during the meeting because we want them to engage and challenge each other.
Mhm.
You got the point. And then I want to address the hybrid, as you mentioned, hybrid. The thing is, when the word hybrid came, you immediately went to the virtual team setting. However,
Yes.
that is what you induced into the question. Question is not telling you that the team is hybrid, that the team is virtual. Hybrid does not necessarily mean that the team you have the virtual team members.
So, in this case, hybrid means what? Like, how? What kind of
Hybrid,
hybrid?
imagine whenever your hybrid life cycle comes or hybrid project comes, hybrid project means that part of the project requirements are not clear, which will follow like a agile approach, and part of the requirements of the project are pretty straightforward, like buy this, procure this, or infrastructure related, which is like hard and fast. So we have a software component which is still unknown mystery. We have a hardware component which is well known. So scope of work related to hardware will be taking up as a predictive nature. Scope of work related to software will be taking as the iterative
So,
incremental
in
learning.
this context, for example, hybrid mean, so we have in-house team as well as we have a vendor team also. So we can say it as
No, that is
We have a
that doesn't
permanent
mean
team and we have a temporary team.
no, no. The 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 idea of telling you hybrid here is the development life cycle, like the approach of the project. It's not virtual team, it's not vendor or mixed team. It's the idea is if you go up. So the idea is we want a structure because structure concept comes from the predictive, and we want a flexibility. We want debate. We want to promote the communication. So we will keep the structure provided by the predictive approaches, and we will bring in the collaboration enforced by the agile approaches to make sure that engagement happens.
Yes. Understood. So the answer is set the strict rule. So the lack of trust, as this is the root cause of the team unwillingness to the or to be a vulnerable during the group or share the challenge, mistakes, feedback. Trust is the foundation of high promising performing team. Without it cannot be achieved. Where is the trust? Okay. This is not a significant or effective solution. So it does not address the root cause of lack of engagement, diversity, possibility of the team. Online collaboration tool may help to improve communication. Okay. But it is not a guarantee that the team member will challenge each other ideas. So it is not possible. So okay, we can okay, understood. Okay.
Yeah, the options in the question actually confuse you that it is a matter of collaboration through the tools or on-site or face-to-face problem. But those options were not relating at all with the question. Question is not telling you that the project team is co-located or different, because the word hybrid project team actually is giving you this context, right?
Yeah. Now I
Yeah.
understood. Once the question will specifically mention the co-located team or virtual teams, then we have to decide further based on the scenario or the background of the question.
Challenging each other was just because of trust. It was not because they don't have the tools to challenge or they are far away and they don't want to engage. So this is not the purpose here. I
This is
got your
just
point.
thinking, or this is just overthinking.
Actually, the correct wording of the question could have been in a hybrid project. That's it. Instead of
Yes.
hybrid project team. Then
It-
I think this team should go away, so that you should have this feeling. Got your point.
Yes. So next question is
Can you go
Ahmed
up? And I want to take the picture because I will remember to fix it.
120 question number.
Just give me a moment. What happened to my mobile camera? Okay, thank you.
Question number 125. Ahmed's project team is facing challenges in the decision making, and conflict have been arisen due to differing opinion on crucial project issues. What document should Ahmed create to establish a structured decision making process, clear guideline for conflict resolution, and promote mutual respect and accountability among the team members?
So now here
So,
you need to know the difference between two documents. Actually, they are one document. Your answer team charter is partially correct, I would say. But in the
okay.
team charter, there are two sections. One section is roles and responsibilities, primarily, like
Hmm.
who is playing what role in this project. Second section is ground rules section. Ground rules section includes again decision making method, conflict resolution method, team agreements, timings of the team, what are the what how we will make each other accountable, how we will escalate the issues. So all these are part of the ground rules. Other than this, everything like roles and responsibilities, who is like, there is a scrum master, there are developers, there are, and their role is this, right? These roles and responsibility of each team member, like QA will do this, ensure that testing is done properly, developers will ensure that the development is taken care of. So those things are within the team charter. So now the question is not asking you about roles and responsibility. Question is asking you about team agreements.
So yeah, team agreements in terms of conflict resolution, mutual respect, accountability. Understood. Understood.
Now in exam, you may have a simple question, and there is one option, team charter. Had ground rules not been given, then you would always select team charter, because
Okay.
now the idea to give you this question from my side was so that you understand the difference. Within the team charter, there is a ground rule document as well, and the constituents of each of these. So subset is the ground rule, but superset is the team charter.
Understood. So just to get the read of the team charter, it is a formal document that defines the project purpose, objective, roles, responsibility, authority. While it is establishing a guideline for the team behavior conducting, it is typically not provide the detailed guideline of conflict resolutions, decision making process. The team charter more focus on setting the team overall decision and direction, aligning with the team project objective rather than providing the detailed guideline for addressing the decision making and conflict resolution. Shareholder attainment, project management plan. Okay.
And I noticed you always say stakeholders as shareholders because of the finance background. just, just observation.
It is
Look like
always.
investing a lot in the company's shares, huh? It's okay. Actually, shareholders or stakeholders, more or less, they they are same, right?
Yeah, some characteristics they are same, but still the stakeholder is have a broader perspective.
Shareholders are major stakeholders.
Shareholders are major stakeholders, but the stakeholders may not be the shareholders.
Correct.
You are a project manager for large software development project. During the planning phase, your team has identified major features that need to be implemented, but it is too large and complex to complete it in a single iteration. Which project management concept can you use to represent this major feature and break it down into the smaller, manageable piece for the better planning and execution? I think this answer sure is correct.
Can you go up? The project looks like predictive actually. So planning phase, your team identified a major feature that need to be implemented, but it is too large and complex to be completed in a single iteration. Now look, the it is not mentioned that it is predictive or it is agile.
Yes,
So
yes,
you
yes.
need to assume that it's a hybrid. Okay, but
But yeah,
regardless, the 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 bulky item scope or deliverable that is mentioned here, which you cannot describe or deliver in one sprint, it may take more than described as an at an epic level. So we call it epic. Epic means bada, like it's huge, magnanimous, right? So so that's the
but
process of breaking down is called decomposition. But the biggest feature itself is called as epic. So I think the confusion here is, again read the question with this understanding.
So actually we need to complete the feature as soon as possible. To handle and complete the feature, we need to do the epic. But if they are asking to, they are not aware about, they want to know more detail about this feature, they need to break it down, then we need to select the decomposition. The process, if they will ask, then we will mention decomposition. But
There,
how
there
to
is
manage?
only one thing: which project management concept and which project management technique. So if they ask about technique, then you will go to decomposition. If they ask you about concept or what you call as artifact, then it is epic.
Understood.
And you can
So,
read the description probably.
okay, so
But see,
understood.
if you go up, um, why it is not decomposition? Read which project management concept you can use to represent major feature. So you cannot use decomposition to represent major feature. We understand we can use a story to represent a feature, or we can use epic to represent a feature, but we cannot use WBS, or we cannot use decomposition. We can use story, like epic is also a story but bigger story, user story. Then later on epic can be broken down into smaller stories. Like, I will give you an example. Epic story is like, we want to create a website. That's an epic story. Now user stories could be that there will be a user story about login and registration. Like, there will be a story about login itself becomes an epic, but let's say it's a story. Then there will be a registration story. Then once you logged in and registered, then there will be a dashboard story. Then there will be some services which we may offer. So there will be many stories about the services. Now, what does all these stories contribute collectively? They can be attributed to a bigger epic, which is, we are delivering a website. Got it?
Understood. Okay. Oh, this was also easy question, but I misunderstood. A development team is working on a new mobile application for a car insurance claim processing for the insurtech company. The product owner is and development team and discussing the product feature, including the initial release. So the team identifies several additional features that could enhance the app's capability, but are not essential for its core functionality. Which of the following options align with the Scrum principle of simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done? So they need to go for the initial release. Okay. There are several features in the identification process, but all are not core essential. So MVP with only necessary third-party insurance coverage for initial release. MVP with third-party insurance coverage with some additional feature. MVP with third-party insurance coverage with additional feature. MVP with third-party and additional feature including comprehensive coverage of the insurance. So it is a step-by-step process, I believe. So initially we can start with just with the third party, then we can improve and add the additional feature. So for the initial release, I understand this is only the third party insurance. Let's start with this one. Additional coverage and feature will be added with the next phase or maybe additionally. I
Cool.
understood.
Cool.
A software development team is working on new e-commerce platform. So the project owner, Mike, and the development team are discussing advantage of adopted development approach. What are the key advantage of adopted development approach using continuous flow cadence in the software development? Prioritizing the requirements and the backlog, completing that them individually suitable and handle support request in the call center. Repeating the iteration process. So it was a adaptive. Repeating the iteration process in the middle until the customer is happy. So I totally missed out the definition of the life cycle. So this is just a simple definition of the life cycle that I mixed up totally. Fix the schedule on the monthly, bi-monthly, and during this one. Okay. This is 100%. This is my mistake. That was a gap of knowledge area. So that is my mistake. This is, I totally agree. Repeating the iteration process in the middle until the customer is happy is seen as an agile software development. And this situation where the key advantage of adaptive development approach using the continuous flow cadence in the software development is repeating the iteration process in the middle until the customer is happy, as seen in the agile software development project. 100%. You are a scrum master for the software design team that is involved in creating the user interface and user experiences for various products. You measure the happiness level of your team using survey, interview, and observations. You notice that the happiness level of your team have decreased slightly in the last quarter. What is the most likely reason for this trend and what should you do? So the happiness level of the team has been decreased. So what we can do? Team is not getting the enough feedback and validation from the user. Team is facing too much pressure. Team is not aligned with the project goals and the organization's vision. Team is lacking a creativity and inspiration. So I think there is a small difference that where I missed out. I believe as soon as we are in the execution phase of the team, because already the project is going on, so team need continuous feedback to improve. So I think that if we look into this perspective, then the answer one is fine. But here, a question is not giving the idea about anything. They are just asking about the happiness level. It is not asking about there is a gap between understanding of goals and vision of the organization, or they are not getting any feedback, performance analysis, or doing retrospective or something. So there is, I think, small gap to get a correct
Come
answer.
down. What is the fourth option?
The team
Wait,
is lacking creativity and inspiration from their work, and you need to provide them the resources.
go up now. Let's read the question. You're a Scrum Master software design team does more creating user interface and user experience of these products. You measure the happiness level using survey interview observation. You know this happiness level of your team has decreased slightly in the last quarter. What is the most likely reason for this trend? Should you to team is not getting the team is facing too much pressure and stress from external and the expectation that the team is not aligned with the come down the fourth one. Let me read the fourth one. Yeah, the team is lacking creativity and inspiration from their work environment. They want to provide them the more resources. Yeah, you are absolutely right. The question does not give you the reason of the unhappiness. You need to just pick blindly
Assume.
what could be the reason. So, in this scenario, what could be the reason of unhappiness? All reasons could be correct. They might be not happy because they are not doing a meaningful work, or which means that they are not aligned with the goals of the organization. But that's not their mistake actually. If they will be, if they will be getting stories prioritized by the product owner who works with the stakeholders, they just need to deliver it, right? That's not their fault. The team is facing too much pressure and stress from stakeholder, and you need to manage their expectation and protect them. Now if you try to relate every option with the question, okay, now let's relate the option number two. The team is facing too much pressure and stress from the stakeholder and need to manage the expectation, protect the team. Is there any scope creep mentioned or pressure mentioned in the question? No, right? So we will X2. Then team is not aligned with the vision, goals of the organization you need to communicate. Is it mentioned? Nothing. Come down,
Nothing.
the fourth option. The team is lacking creativity and inspiration from their work, and you need to provide them more resources, tools, and opportunities. I would say this is not a bad answer actually, because if you go up now and relate it with the questions, now the first option is also, let's check, the team is not getting enough feedback and validation from the user, and you need to increase their exposure to research, testing, and the feedback. Okay. Now, your Scrum Master of the team and team is involved in creating measured happiness level and survey and observation. You notice that happiness level may increase slightly. Okay. All right. Yeah, we just need to match with the answer. Now, nothing is matching. All four options are not matching with the question because the team is not getting enough feedback and validation is nowhere written in the question. There is
What
certainly
I
some part missing
understood,
in the question.
yeah, actually, what I understood here, what I
Mm,
understood. If we see, now we need to put the timeline where we are right now.
mm,
Okay. So we are in the last quarter, somewhere in the last quarter. So the definitely we have already worked out something. We know what is the purpose of that product or something. So vision, definitely we need to start with the vision.
mm,
Also, it is important we need to end with the vision also.
mm,
But if we are at a last stage and we are still thinking about the vision, so that means what about the first, second, and third quarter?
mm.
This is just my assumption, my thinking. But the more is once you are in the execution, once you are in the performing stage, if you are not getting this one, nobody is appreciating you, nobody is telling you anything, you will say what the
The only word which relates you in the option A is validation, because validation is a kind of um, satisfaction, or you would say agreement, and it tells you that they are okay with what with your work.
yes,
You
yes.
get my point. If
Hmm.
someone validates your work, that yes, it's a tick mark, then you feel at least confident that you are doing the job.
Hmm.
Whether you are making them happy or sad is some other story, but the bill will be paid because the work is done. This is
Yes.
bare minimum what you are doing. So if you are not getting validation, it means that tomorrow they may say invalid. This is not what we asked. So at least if we are getting validation of our work, that means fine. But if we are not getting feedback and not getting validated, that may create a uh, perception or discouragement, right?
Yes, let's I think read the
So
answer
that's the only thing
justification.
which is relating to the.
Yes, yes, yes. This option shows that you are identifying most likely reason of the decrease of the happiness level of your team, which is related to their core work, creating user interface and user experience. It also shows that you are taking action to reserve the trend by providing your team more and more opportunities to interact with the user, understand their need, and test feedback. So this is what initially the justification is. Then option is incorrect because it is not likely reason of the decrease in the happiness. It is not directly related with your core work of creating user interface and user experience. So it is not addressing the personal motivation. Here, user experience. Okay, it relates to the core user. It shows that you are working, you are taking action to resolve the trend by providing. But it is, I think it is just with a short understanding that
Yeah, the
we
thing
need
is,
to.
if you look at the designer's work, so there are two part of the designer work. One is user experience design, one is user interface design. So user experience design is the journey, the kind of experience that you see on some apps. You see that it's a wow experience, that wow, they it's a seamless experience. But the tab, the icons and the wording that you see on the website, the design that you in fact interact with, is developed as a user interface. Like UI designer actually designs that screen, but not the flow. UX designer
Yes, yes.
designs the flow. Okay.
Mhm.
So, but if you design the flow and if you design the user interface and you were waiting for the feedback and nobody came and told you that it is correct or incorrect or it needs some change, that will decrease your motivation level. That who will validate our work? What did we do so far? It is wasted because we didn't get the feedback.
Yes, 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 yes.
Makes sense, right?
Right, right, right. The team member are not able to communicate effectively, and the project manager has noticed that the team member are getting frustrated and started to disengage from the project. How can project manager use active listening skills to understand the team member's perspective and help them? I think this was very easy question. Active listening skills only be done through one-to-one meetings.
Hmm.
So these are brainstorming will not work. During the meeting, allocate the time to each member to share the thoughts. Up to some extent can be possible. But suggestion box is not that much because it is indirect. You have some time to open the box and see, maybe after 1 week you will look into, or maybe you will put into the garbage. Okay, what are these suggestions? Throw them out. So I think that is a very much clear answer was there. So I missed out this one, I believe. During the meeting, maintain eye contact with full intention and show genuine interest in the thoughts. Encourage them to speak openly. Paraphrase the summary of the problem. Ask the once you have cleared them how to articulate. Okay, great. Now,
80/20.
okay. So I again missed out this 80-20 product requirements, must have, should have, would have. So let's see. The project team is working on agile project involved developing a web-based application for the client. The project manager conduct a survey to collect the feedback from the end user about the feature and functionality of the application. The survey result shows that users are dissatisfied with several aspects of the application, such as usability, performance, security, and design. The project manager want to prioritize the most important issue to address in the next sprint, so it can be done through what is the most important issue. Oh my God, how I can select this Moscow?
I tell you why. Because both are prioritization methods. The issue is that there is a quality management tool and there is a requirement management technique. So all what we understood so far about Kanu model and Moscow, they are they came in when we were prioritizing requirements, not defects. We were prioritizing from customer perspective what should be there as a feature, but what should not be fixed as a defect. But the quality management tool includes 7 quality management tool, which is Pareto, histogram, quality control charts, check sheet, and so on. These are the methods for the defects prioritization or defects logging. Especially prioritization among that is the Pareto, where you just sort the histogram based on the high to low, and then you identify what should be your focus problems that need to be fixed, because quality does not have more money. Projects have funds, but for QA they have very limited funds, so they need to fix only those issues which have maximum results. That's done through Prito.
So this is the correct answer because the Pareto chart is a graphical tool that shows the frequency and impact of different cause of problem. It can help the prioritize and signifies the issues. This one. And what about Moscow? This is incorrect because Moscow technique is prioritizing the requirement. Yeah, oh my God. And for requirement, we have to issue, but Pareto model is for issue and problem solving. Okay. And Kanu model is also a technique classifying the requirement as users based on influence how they influence the user satisfaction. Okay, Moscow model is based on the importance. Okay, and Kano model is based on user satisfaction. Okay. Okay, done. So now we are reaching to only few are left out. You are a project manager for a software development upgradation project. The client has provided you with a list of 15 requirements that want to implement in the new software. However, due to the resource and schedule constraint, you cannot deliver all into the project. You decide to use Moscow priority to based on their importance and urgency. Okay, which of the following category of Moscow method indicate the requirement is desirable but not necessary to the project?
Should mean must. That's basic English.
Um, This is just an English problem because of the not
Grammar.
having tuning. Poor people, no issue. This requirement is designed but not necessary that they add the value to the project, and but the implementation can be postponed. And this requirement is important but not critical as must have requirement. They can contribute significantly to the success but can be deferred also if necessary. What is that is not necessary code here. It can add subject. Okay. Okay. So why this is wrong? During the sprint review meeting, the client expresses dissatisfaction of one of the feature of web-based application. The project manager explained that how that they followed a confirmation test that were agreed upon during the conversation with the client. What component of user story is missing or unclear in this situation?
The answer is there in the question. I told you earlier as well. There are 3 C's of user story. One is when there is conversation happening in the brainstorming session or idea generation session. All the conversation that, okay, beautiful idea, let's discuss, let's create a story. Then there is a card, which is a sticky note where they put the small idea, okay, as a user, I want to do this. Okay. And then there is a detailed acceptance criteria that how it will be described as a function, feature, functionality, which which will constitute it, like how which will make the definition of ready, or then it will be accepted later on. Based on that, it will be accepted. So 3 C's of user story: conversation, card, and acceptance criteria, which is confirmation. Now, what is the problem here is the conversation that was misunderstood, and it is mentioned in the question.
Okay, so conversation.
Actually, confirmation as well mentioned, but you got confused. Where is the emphasis, right?
No, my point is, see, conversation is already there. This is what I'm trying to say. The project team explained that they followed the confirmation test that were agreed during the conversation. Conversation is there already. Card part is missing.
Both are there and the card is missing. But the problem could have happened, not like it's not about missing. Okay, yeah, from that 3C, the card is missing. I understand. But what went wrong could be the confirmation, which is the acceptance criteria, or the conversation which was misunderstood or unclear, right? Yeah. Let's read again the question. During the sprint review, client expressed dissatisfaction with one of the feature, and the project team explained that we followed the confirmation tests that were agreed during our conversation. What component of story is missing or unclear in this situation? Either of these, confirmation or conversation, right? Whether you misunderstood in the conversation, and if you misunderstood in the conversation, then it translated into the confirmation. It followed one after another. Come down. What justification is provided?
The conversation component of user story involved discussing and collaborating the stakeholder to gain the shared understanding of the requirement. In this scenario, the client's dissatisfaction suggests there might be a lack of in-depth conversation or collaboration to clarify the nuances and the specification of the feature. So the project team explanation followed the confirmation test, applied that while they were adhering to agreed upon the criteria, there might be a gap of misunderstanding that the comprehensive conversation. So now how somebody will understand that the conversation okay happened, but it is a detailed or in-depth conversation or just a normal conversation. I was joking or I was serious. Who will decide? This is see, this is this is also a question. Who will decide? Okay, you are serious. Okay, you said to me I did it. No, I was joking. Why you did it? So how this is
See, the logic is not like the case of the chicken and the egg, that which came first. Here we know conversation came first, then acceptance criteria came second.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Then we also know that the confirmation is derived from conversation. So root cause, like, okay, you can say that my question paper was incorrect, right? So I answered the question which was there on the question paper. But
Yes.
that question came, and then the next question will be, who gave you this question? From where did they derive this question? then you go back to the root cause. So the root cause is a misunderstanding that happened during the conversation, which translated into the paper.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Once we sit together, we agreed. Then I was telling it was a joke, and you are telling no, it was serious that I did it. So that means I misunderstood the conversation, or you misunderstood the conversation, what we were doing actually. But also, it's very critical to do that level of in-depth analysis sometimes. But maybe it's okay because they can do whatever they want to do. See, I was trying to select this option because I read this self-esteem and all these one. Self-esteem is available there because of the basic need of
Maslow,
hierarchy theory.
Maslow. Yeah.
So that is
So
100%. That is
uh,
my mistake. This is total my mistake. But this Victor Vroom theory has established the relation between the performance, effort, performance, and outcome. That is a member insecurity and
Victor Broom is very easy. You just need to, they say, in our language, menu malo kha mera mood bane. So the
not
effort,
performance.
it says that what I will get. So when the reward is heavy, the person will be more excited and dedicated, and they will put in more effort to get the reward, right?
Hmm.
So that is the, like, what is the outcome? मैं क्यों मेहनत करूंगा? What is the outcome? But if the outcome is great, then that will drive the performance, right?
Understood, understood. This will be the. No, the customer is not satisfied with the delivered product, stating that it does not meet with their business requirements. The project manager noticed that the team has missed identifying the important stakeholder and the identification process. This stakeholder had specific business requirements that were crucial to the success of the what. How could the project manager avoid this in the future? Yeah, see, this was a very easy question. This was very easy question, and I totally misunderstood. I only just started to provide the solution. Even this was not asked also.
Yes.
I immediately become a consultant. I said them, okay, no issue, do the meeting. It was not asked. They are asking how you can avoid in future. Definitely, you have to go with the engagement management plan. What is this? These are very. See, this is not good. See, this the main problem is still there that the requirement sometime I am missing. That is from the first day. If I show some patience, definitely I think that the result can be little bit different.
So look, whenever you read a question, take a deep breath.
See, if I'm taking the deep breath, already 20-second pass. It's increasing my anxiety. This is also a problem. So 20-second pass. Oh my God, 1 minute pass. Still, I am reading the question. Then let's move to the next question. You are a project manager for the software development project. The project sponsor has given you a list of 10 features that they want to include in software product. However, you are not sure how to rank their priority. You decide to use a bubble sort technique to prioritize the feature based on their value and feasibility. What is the following step to provide it? Compare each feature randomly, a random feature, move it up and down in the list based on their relative value and feasibility. Compare the feature with every other feature. Assign the score based on their relative value and feasibility. Compare each feature with and rank them based on their relative value and feasibility.
Yeah,
Compare
there is
the
a simple
feature
bubble sort agreement. Yeah. Oh.
and compare each feature with its adjacent feature and swap them if they are in wrong order. I think long time back this sorting method I
Yeah.
read it out. So
Bubble
that's
sort is like this. You, if you recall that A, B, C, D. Okay, you compare A with B. You think, okay, now my comparison is between A and B. Okay, I think B is more important. Then I'll push A forward. Okay, then B is more important now. Then I'll compare A with the C. Okay, then A or C. Now A, if A looks fine, I will keep it. Otherwise, I will push forward A and bring in C as the most important. Then I'll move. Then again compare A with the D. So it's like this bubble sort, adjacent feature.
so the project will start with the first feature on the list to compare it with the second feature. If the first feature is higher value, the feasibility, then the search, then he will keep in the same order. So the first feature is in the lower value, the feasibility, then the and value and feasibility, then the second feature will swap them. Okay, so the manager will repeat this process for every pair of adjacent feature. So the until they reach the end of the list. This complete one pass of the bubble sorting. Okay. I think this was the last mistake. So we have done the complete review of all the mistakes.
Excellent.
So
Actually, it was meaningful for me as well, and I hope
yes,
was meaningful for everybody, including you.
in
And
they definitely.
we have another test, which is test 4, probably that you have done. We will see if it can be done tonight or it will be done tomorrow, probably, because it's already too late.
Yes. We will do
Yeah.
it. We will schedule it tomorrow.
Yeah. So, how was this session, Kamar? Your
I think
perspective?
the still the problems from my side on the top side the first not properly reading the question. This is still there, and the second is this slightly some knowledge gap is there that since long I have not gone through this theory part. So I will try to bridge the gap between these major definitions, models. Wherever it is. So hopefully I will cover this one. So I will try to cover this gap. Rest
Yes,
is, I think, all the things, concept, this review session are really helpful. So I think if we will continue, I believe it will give me a good result as well. Inshallah.
definitely. So, guys, if Kamar can do it, every one of you can do it.
Inshallah.
Kamar is pushing hard. He's putting his self. I have students who are struggling as well, but but again, you need to own your PMP preparation journey. Um,
Yes.
and we are here to support you. We are here to work with you day and night. Just show your enthusiasm, participate in it. Success will not happen as an accident. You need to not to wait for the motivation to come, but you need to create the motivation. Okay, focus on the result, focus on the achievement. That's too big. Imagine yourself that you are holding a PMP certificate and what it will do for you, right?
Yeah.
Why
Yes.
you started. Just focus on why you started. If you feel low, focus on why you started, why you want to achieve. And then if it is clear, your why is clear, you will be able to keep moving forward. So with
Mm.
this, I sign off. We sign off for today, and I'll see you tomorrow with the another test review. Or to you guys. Let's just come.